Hello, friends. Welcome back to Saturday Evenings Posted Mostly Presents with me, your host, Trevor Stewart 1308, and we are here with the ASOC Prod Cat and the Peanut Gallery. Hi, guys.
Greetings.
Hello.
Hi, Maddie. Good to see you in the chat. And it has been a week, buddy. Boy, has it been a week.
Mhm.
Before we get into what a crazy week it's been, let's start with, of course, our ad read and breakfast with the Kush Gang. Of course, our pre-rolls are brought to you by The Hidden Leaf, downtown Charlottesville, Virginia, on the downtown mall, 105 West Main Street, above the brick, Suite 200. A great place to go with some great buds to get some great buds, bud? And the only thing better than their bud is their customer service. They also have the lowest prices in town, according to my own personally highly biased research, by which I mean I was incredibly high doing my biased research. Don't forget to check the website for times and events. The website is thehiddenleafcville.com. That's thehiddenleafcville.com, where you can find Frosty Fridays, the sales event, where you can find our other two sponsors, Firehouse, where there's smoke, there's fire, and Kush Gang, purveyor of fine edibles and drinkables, whose products we will be sampling again today. We have the grape Kush juice, and we will be eating one of the brownies, one of those light and fluffy brownies, and a couple of peanut butter cookies, as well as a special treat, some caramel cookies. A limited run thing. I'm excited about this. But before I dig into that, let me share a note of disclaimer. We will probably be expressing political views during this broadcast. Those views are the belong to the expresser of the view, possibly the channel and or the parent company, but they do not necessarily belong to any of our advertisers, such as The Hidden Leaf, Firehouse, and Kush Gang. That being said, Kush Gang may show up in the chat later. And if you want their political opinions, I'm pretty sure they're happy to give them to you. Alright, so all of that out of the way. Oh, I'm excited by these. These things look so good. Oh, man. So yeah, it has been an insane and crazy week in the news, and it's been hard to keep up. To that point, we've decided to, instead of actually trying to... Oh! These are the caramel cookies. And
Yeah, but they've got Kush Gang has peanut butter cookies, right?
they do.
So those would be PBMJ.
Yes, they would.
Mm-hmm.
If they took the peanut butter cookies and stuck a chocolate filling between them to make a sandwich cookie.
I'm sorry, were you guys speaking? I was in heaven.
I'm just noting that if they've got peanut butter cookies and they stick a chocolate filling, they've got a reverse Reese's cup.
Mmm. I bet you that would be really good. Mmm. These caramel cookies are amazing. Mmm. Oh, man. They are, the caramel is at, is between a soft, what they would call a soft crack and a hard crack. So it's got a lot of tooth to it. It's got a lot of, and the cookies are very crispy. These infused caramel cookies from the Kush gang. They're chocolate chip cookies, very crispy chocolate chip cookies, covered with incredible tooth to crack. Tooth to crack. That is exactly what these are. These caramel cookies are what I would call tooth crack. Mm. Mm. Really good consistency. The caramel has a little bit of snap to it, but also some stretch. So it is it has both of the qualities that I like in caramel topping for a cookie. Man, I just realized my stomach must have done shrunk because I'm looking at all that food and going, I don't know if I can eat that much food. I'm going to save the other caramel cookie for later. Especially if Kush Gang shows up in the chat. I think we are going to dive into the brownie. So, this week, out there in the land of crazy, I want to start with the John Ossoff, one of the John Ossoff commercials. Georgia, I think. John Ossoff from Georgia. And he does the whole commercial, you know, talking about supporting farmers, talking about standing up to the administration's destruction of the small farmer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And he gets to the, he gets to the end. He gets to the, and this I'm John Ossoff, and I support this message. And then he looks at it and looks at the camera and says, tomato.
Okay.
So I feel like the big, important political message from John Ossoff is tomato.
Motto.
And part of me screams out in my head, oh my God, John Ossoff supports necromancy. I think he's running for Congress, I think, in Georgia right now. Congress or some sort of or mayor or not mayor, governor. It's either Congress or governor.
I just looked him up. The quick wiki says Democrat who won special election in 2021 to represent Georgia in the Senate. He's a former documentary filmmaker and investigative journalist.
Tomato.
Okay.
Yeah, Democrat.
This is how you approve a message that you may not approve all of. You just say the part you approve. He approves of tomatoes.
I don't approve all of anything.
I understand that you find those to be cursed fruits. That's between you and that tree.
They are. It's necromancy, I tell you.
Wrong fruit. We're
Oh.
discussing an entirely different one now, the one that comes from a tree.
Tomato plant could be a tree depending on your height.
Or your
I
specific
resemble that
definition of
more.
tree.
Or your specific definition of tree. Whales are
Just
fish,
like
darn it.
No, they ain't.
That Alabama special education will be interesting. Yeah, well. Alabama is one of the states that has. Oh, election. How did I read education?
Because that's what Alabama has been in the news for most recently.
Man, I am dyslexic.
You sure it's not the cookies talking?
Yes. They have not had time to kick in. Edumacations. Except maybe one. Dems have won every special election in Alabama so far. Wow.
Good.
Yes. Speaking of special elections, I've seen a lot of Winsome Earl Sears commercials.
I have been getting a lot of polling calls on her behalf.
Oh, man. The
And I have been
commercials. Oh, have you? What have you been saying? What have they been saying?
What do you think of blah? I said, well, anybody that does X, Y, and Z is not getting my vote, so automatically the other side is. No, I'm not voting for her.
Nice. I like that.
I mean, all right, the staffers that are calling, they're given a script. It's not their fault that they're being paid by these people. They have to work too. So I have no problem taking all of their money for call centers, which is running out.
Mm-mm.
The longer they're on the phone talking with me, then, the more they're getting paid to handle the call and the less calls are getting made.
True. What I've noticed about the Winsome Earl Sears commercials is that they're all attacking wow. Spamberger. Wow, man, that name just disappeared from my head. I almost called her Amy Klobuchar again.
Ooh, yeah, no.
No. Amy
Got the glass?
Klobuchar was never a cop.
No.
Well, put it this way. What I've seen of either of their commercials, they have specifically been attack ads. None of them have been stating what the heck they're up to.
They have, sort of. I've seen one spam burger that was not an attack ad, but it was just a very general, like, this is what the Umbrella Party line is.
Yeah.
But what I've seen from Winsome Earl Sears is a lot of trans erasure.
Oh yeah.
A lot of Spamberger wants to let boys play sports with your girls, wants men in your women's bathrooms, wants everyone to have a sex change, gender reassignment, Very.
Oh yeah. I had fun with that question on the call.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
I said I had fun with that question.
I bet you did. Very much like this is very trans erasure talking points commercials that are trying to portray Spamberger as dangerous. These policies, these trans acceptance policies, as dangerous. And it's very much the talking points of the administration and the right in general. And knowing this area, while I think that may play out deep in some of the counties, I think there's a lot more trans acceptance in the entirety of Virginia than Winsome Earl Sears is giving it credit for.
I think one of the talking points that has kind of made me the angriest is them trying to do they're trying to use Fairfax County schools, which we have covered an entire court case that they were going through. Tried to use their most recent school year as a talking point, and how bathrooms and this and that. It's like, your person that's currently holding a seat did nothing about Fairfax County schools and their entire engorged legal budget that they have, specifically because they have had so many SA complaints and cases.
Right.
If she can't fix that, what makes me think she's going to do anything better?
Exactly. So, that's what we've seen coming out of out of the localish politics. But national politics has been... Huh?
Look in the comments. DC.
Oh. A turf war. Yes, they are. A turf war. Her ads are a turf war.
Oh. Brilliant catch, dear heart.
Nice. So another one of the crazy things that happened this last week was, I did expect, I expected the administration to come out swinging on vaccines. I did not expect them to come after Tylenol. that was, for me, out of left field.
And as we've seen, the reason they keep saying Tylenol, which, side note, that is a brand name that should be absolutely gearing up the lawyers to sue for defamation.
Yes, it should. Even we should be saying paracetamol or acetaminophen.
We should in response to some things, but the fact that they are specifically saying Tylenol does this.
Right.
But they're doing that because they can't say acetaminophen.
I gotta say, by the way, one of the funniest parts about this story was listening to NPR hosts struggle to say acetaminophen. They had to say it so often that some of them just started getting tongue-tied, and it became acetaminophen. Acetaminophen. Acetaminophen.
I can pronounce it very clearly. Distraction.
Yes. Absolutely.
It feels like that. You know, I feel another part of that though. In the same breath, they came out saying that anyone under 12 doesn't need the hepatitis B vaccine. Which to me says they do apparently have a lower age limit.
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
Yeah, I kind of caught that too.
It is, you know, of course, I am too old to have been given the Hep B vaccination as a child.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things that I think I would have been glad to have gotten, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Especially given some of the lifestyle I have led.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, this is also, Trump made these statements at right about the same time that he went to the UN. And, you know, went to the UN and talked about NATO and someone early...
Appearance was.
Oh, yeah. Someone mentioned that he may have chosen to use a broken escalator in order to illustrate the point that, you know, the UN is falling apart and that NATO is not.
I don't think he has that much forethought. His handlers might, but he does not.
Yes, and currently, White House interns are being blamed for the technical difficulties of the day, whatever technical difficulties those were.
Oh, like he tried to blame the UN for the teleprompter when the UN responded just like, dude, We had nothing to do with the teleprompter. That was all your people and
Right.
your equipment.
Yep.
I heard somebody point out that there is a safety mechanism at the top of an escalator that you can use to shut it down for a couple of minutes. There's a place you can put pressure that'll make it pause and make it look faulty. And apparently Trump had a cameraman or intern of some kind at that spot.
My biggest thing is, it is an escalator. It is a moving set of stairs. If it is not working and not moving, it's not broken. It's just stairs. And
Escalator broken. Temporarily stairs. Sorry for your convenience. Thank you, Mitch Hedberg.
as president, he should be healthy enough to climb a set of stairs
Should be. He ain't.
without his cane.
Don't forget that this is the same man who said that he didn't believe in exercise because he believes that the heart has a certain number of beats in it.
Yeah, I'm circling back to the cage match between him and Schwarzenegger and thinking more and more how that would be fun to watch. Same age, same height.
And Schwarzenegger's been on dialysis since the early 90s.
Yep.
Oh, he's on the Keith Richards plan?
Keith Richards has his own plan that he doesn't share with anybody.
No. I don't think even Keith Richards remembers the Keith Richards plan.
No, because he's been around for 700 million years. How would he remember?
I'm just saying the Keith Richards plan is a regular oil change for the body.
That too.
Although in his case, I feel like it's more of a formaldehyde change. I'm pretty sure Keith Richards has been dead since, the late 90s.
1690s.
So, yeah, Trump really blasted NATO. Came out swinging, basically saying they're not doing enough for their own defense. Saying that, the part that sounded weird to me was when he said that they're going to hell. And my first thought is like, I mean, why would that directly condemn them to hell? You're going to hell if you don't spend more money on defense. Or are you threatening to send them to hell?
I think in his mind it's the second one.
Yeah, I think so too. I couldn't quite parse out what was going on there. Like, what? The part that sounded weird to you was when the orange opened its mouth. Yeah.
Can't argue that.
Right? Now, also, in this pretty much this same breath, he calls Russia a paper tiger. He literally called them a paper tiger. When I heard the BBC say that he had called Russia a paper tiger, I thought that was some more of their exaggerative, hyperbolic reporting. You know, I've heard them say that Korea or China has called America a paper tiger, when paper tiger wasn't the actual word that was used or the actual wording that was used. It was some other form of, you know, ineffective and not dangerous.
The problem with reporting on Diplo speech is you almost have to be hyperbolic in order to get the actual meaning of what they're saying.
Right.
He doesn't use close speech. He just uses muck.
Right. And I was really surprised that he pulled out Paper Tiger. Like
I'm
that,
surprised he knew what that was.
right? But he's been called that by, he was called that by Kim Jong-un at some point. Is it Kim Jong-un? I don't think Kim Jong-il called him a paper tiger, but someone called him a paper tiger. Oh, like back at the beginning of his first administration.
But it couldn't have been one of the Kims because he's the best friends with them. They're the best.
They're the best. They're the greatest. Well, you remember when Korea was back in his first administration, beginning of his first administration, Korea was doing those missile tests and wouldn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when it happened. I think that now because he's leaned into being a fascist dictator, he's made peace with the Kims.
Mm.
You know? At least that's what it appears to be to me in that situation. All right. Last cookie. I think I have room for this.
Uh-huh.
This is waffle thin.
Waffle thin. It is not wafer thin. Jimmy Kimmel didn't get fired last week. That was the end of the week before, but he came back on the air last week. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which was a surprising move, I feel. The funnier Jimmy on late night. I think it also pointed out what the mouse really truly fears. The only thing the mouse really fears is losing money. Losing attendees to its theme parks. I think that was the big threat that made the House of Mouse shake.
Mm-hmm. You are correct.
And Kimmel then went on to apologize to the family, which I felt...
Apologize for something he didn't say.
Right. That kind of bugged me a little bit. Like, he didn't owe anyone an apology, and while apologizing for their pain is not difficult and should be done, sure. You know, I guess if you really are sorry that they're in pain. There's a part of me that doesn't want anybody to be in pain. But also, I recognize that his family his wife at least, is determined to carry on doing the nasty, mean, pain-causing crap that he was doing. So, like, it's not like it's gonna be any better. But, so apologizing to the family, but apologizing to the family for his insensitive comments. His comments weren't insensitive to the family or to Charlie Kirk. His comments were insensitively cynical to the right, but they weren't necessarily wrong either. And I feel like
the really, really sucky thing about that particular bit is the fact that he sent out actual condolences for their loss.
right.
So it's a case of he did what you are supposed to do in the moment.
Right.
And he didn't say anything until after Trump was asked about it and deflected by talking about the ballroom.
Right. So it's, now, I mean, aside from the chilling effect that this had on free speech,
Yeah.
we can't say this was illegal because Disney, private organization, allowed to fire and hire whoever they want.
True.
Not
that part is not illegal.
Yeah, not for any reason, but if it's because they don't like the even political speech of somebody, they're allowed to. But caving to the pressures of a political figure in such a way, not because you politically agree with them, but because you fear government censure, that has a very chilling effect on free speech. That
Right.
And
especially when they're saying, "Oh no, we didn't do this," and then you had the accidental email that was posted on Truth Social.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear about the email.
It was from him to Pam Bondi, directing her to go after his enemies specifically because he got ABC once, he will get them again.
I do remember hearing about that now.
And it was supposed to be a private email, but instead of emailing it directly to her, he somehow managed to post it on Truth Social.
I know exactly how that happened.
Yeah, Truth Social open thought he was emailing.
No. He asked Hegseth in for IT support.
That would actually do it.
Yep.
That would absolutely do it.
Yep.
Hegseth
was in the news this week too. Speaking of,
yeah,
came out in favor of U.S. soldiers massacring indigenous women and children.
I did not see the story, but I heard little bits about it.
I didn't read much of the story because, a lot happened this week. I don't have
Yes.
time to get too in depth on any one given thing. And now he said that the U.S. military murderers who served at Wounded Knee, who attacked Wounded Knee, get to keep their medals now and forever.
All right.
And
So-
the people murdered at Wounded Knee weren't combatants. They were women
No.
and children. They were not. It wasn't like, no, it wasn't. It was a massacre of civilians, of innocent civilians, of non-combatants. So yeah, that's what Pete Hegseth has been doing this week, apparently.
Which definitely has falls absolutely in line with the dumbass renaming of things to the Department of War.
Mm-hmm. Which makes you think that, well, maybe they shouldn't have renamed it, because maybe they're paying a little too much attention to, being offensive. The massive ring of malware SIM cards and computers that was shut down in DC this week.
New York.
Or was it New York, not DC? New York.
Correct.
This week. Yeah. I feel like maybe if the Department of Defense had been around, they would have defended against that.
Well, let's put it this way. They want to make sure that you know that they are not on defense about being at war with the general populace.
And aren't they?
I just thought you were going for, they just wanted to make sure you knew they were offensive.
No, that's my line. They don't know how to be anything other than offensive.
Right? It's, considering everything, you'd think that these guys would be more worried about their jobs than they are, considering the looming government shutdown that
Oh no.
that the administration is already blaming on the Democrats, saying that the Democrats haven't done enough yet to stop this shutdown from happening.
These are the same people that thoroughly backed Doge and swore up and down it wasn't going to affect any of their jobs then.
Right.
And you now have people, apparently not just in parts of Virginia, but across the country, that were holding public office in some form or other, that have had to leave office or drop out of the political races they were in because Doge took away their job and they've had to move.
Just saying.
And most of them were wholeheartedly on board with Doge is going to do good things and cut the fat.
Right.
These people are wholeheartedly in favor of the government shutdown that they are blaming on other people. The reason for this is the standard procedure, if this BS happens, which it's going to happen, is to put the quote-unquote non-essentials on furlough.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And this has been effectively changed to, oh, all the non-essentials are just getting fired.
You see that whoosh?
However, there may not be the legal standing to do that.
Has that stopped them yet?
No, no. And the thing about that is, even if these people, and they probably will win their legal cases to get their jobs back,
It's gonna be
they.
months.
Hmm.
It'll
Yeah,
it'll be months before that.
yeah,
So
it will be, and that will be the damage to the general infrastructure will already be done.
yes.
And I think that's some of what the plan is. Like, even if it doesn't stick, do a lot of damage, and then later on point out how it's ineffective and
You know,
privatize it.
it feels very much like having rats get into your storeroom.
Right.
Whatever they don't eat, they shred up and mess on to make it unusable for anybody else.
Right. Everything becomes unusable. It's being uh, let's see. Jeez, we still got so much to cover here.
I know.
Hey, Amazon got smacked down.
Huh?
This is true.
Amazon got smacked down.
Oh yeah, what happened? What's that? What was that one?
So there was a large class action lawsuit against Amazon for deceptive business practices, specifically forcing people to sign up for Prime without telling them.
Oh yeah. They lost that. They lost that lawsuit. The forced Prime lawsuit. Keep going. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just.
It's to the tune of a couple $1 billion. Now, mind you, that's not going to really affect them, and
Not
it's
much.
really a drop in the bucket for everything that they do. But I am happy every time Amazon loses.
Yes.
Yep. Every time they get their comeuppance, it's a good thing.
Mind you, the system that we're currently using to discuss this.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I know. But hey, what are you gonna do? No ethical consumption under capitalism. Other notable lawsuits this week. FTC sues Live Nation and Ticketmaster.
Oh yes.
Uh,
FTC and 7 states. Virginia is one of the founding states on this lawsuit that other states can join in on.
oh, wow. Get 'em. And it's, I mean, I'm not a fan of the FTC exactly. Although, when it comes to it, not a fan of the FTC.
Mm.
Uh,
While this particular lawsuit just got started,
yeah.
in the works, you also have a class action lawsuit on behalf of a gazillion Swifties against Ticketmaster.
Oh, yeah.
California is suing them all by themselves on something else entirely.
I feel
And-
well, these are all, well, actually, no, Ticketmaster, this might actually do some damage to Ticketmaster.
Well, the thing with this particular one is apparently they have gotten hold of internal emails that have, among other things, stated that they have provided ticket scalpers, for lack of, I can't remember the correct term, but they provided them
Secondary
with
market sellers. With
They've
what?
they provided them with software that lets them manage, track, and coordinate multiple accounts buying and selling tickets for them. So they've set up an in-run thing to get around the bot thing that they're supposed to be having in place, so you can't just put up a whole bunch of bots to buy tickets for you.
Wow. Wow.
They put something in place specifically to get around that, and there are internal emails talking about the fact that this software exists.
Okay.
Uh,
My first take on this was that it felt like, it felt like taking down Al Capone for tax evasion.
eh,
But the more I hear, the bigger it seems to be, and the more integrated into the actual inner workings of Live Nation and Ticketmaster.
mm-hmm.
And Live Nation and Ticketmaster are not good companies outside of their ticketing practices.
Yeah.
They are generally scummy companies outside of that. However, ticketing is kind of their big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's what they're getting caught messing around on, that does feel valid.
Yes.
I do feel a little bit like the I feel like Nintendo suing Trump over trademark properties feels a little like trying to take down Al Capone on tax evasion.
I mean, true, but hey, if it works,
If it works. There
Of
is
late, that
also a very cynical part of me that wants to believe that thinks that Nintendo is doing this because they're re-releasing Marvel vs. Capcom, and this is their promotional fight between the Blob and Phoenix Wright.
uh-huh. I mean, if it works and they win their lawsuit and actually do something with it, I will not be mad over them also using that as a marketing tool.
I honestly, I think it's good that they're trying. It's good that they're trying. I don't like Nintendo. I am
I used
not.
to.
I liked playing Nintendo games. I was always dimly aware of their shady business practices.
How did they start out?
As a playing card game. Playing card
Not just
company.
That ran what else?
Love hotels.
Oh,
Or,
wow.
Yakuza.
and they also ran a cab company.
To take the businessmen from the love hotels to the airport.
Back again. All of them supplied, both the hotels and the cab supplied with their playing cards.
Again, as a kid, I was dimly aware of their shady business practices. Maybe not all of them. But something in
There's
their
all-
marketing seemed a little too effective.
Look, there was a period of time where I truly thought of them as a decent company, mostly because their CEO, who has unfortunately passed,
Yeah.
and they have backslid very quickly.
Yes.
A man who decided to very, very decided to take a hefty pay cut in order that his workers did not have to get fired or take a pay cut because the company was on hard times.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah. And that is really cool of that CEO. And I'm sure the employees were not bad people either. It's that there were still, even at that time, there were some shady business practices going on.
Oh, I'm not going to deny that.
Right.
I, I'm just saying the shining light that they used to be able to hold up is no longer there, and they don't
God,
even
no.
care.
Right. Well, because they essentially lost the platform war. I mean,
In the Wii and the Switch, both of them were
th-
the fastest selling platforms of their respective platform generations.
Mhm.
They
okay,
both sold the
fair.
most of those generations, so I would not say
Fair.
that they lost.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about the Switch.
Mhm.
I forgot about the Switch. They didn't win the platform wars. They were losing at the time. They were losing. They were losing the platform war though. At that time, um, and it was. I think between what was it? The GameCube? Was that the Nintendo?
That was Nintendo, yes.
Between the GameCube and the DS, before the DS, in that period of time, I think Nintendo really felt the squeeze to change business practices if they were going to stay alive. You know, they
Mhm.
their older consoles were hanging around. The Cube wasn't doing that great. People were all sorts of into Mario Kart, but not much else. Super Smash Brothers, not much else. You
Mhm.
know, meanwhile, things like Marvel versus Capcom were also available on the Xbox and the PlayStation. And even properties that had been Nintendo only, some properties that had been Nintendo only branched out. When Final Fantasy broke with its Nintendo tradition and went over to PlayStation only, uh, I feel like that did some had not specifically Final Fantasy, but that rash of desertions had some effect on Nintendo and on the psychology of Nintendo. Um, you know, there are only a couple of properties that are completely Nintendo exclusive and have stayed that way.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm
that can be
trying
said
to.
for all the consoles.
Yeah, yeah. Um, it used to be more true of the consoles in general. There were fewer crossover games.
Yeah, back in the 90s and early 2000s,
Yeah,
early 2000s.
yeah,
But then the base systems weren't really that different. It was the amount of hardware that was running the software that changed.
right.
So it was no real big deal for them to program for different systems
Operating
until the
systems.
PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2 was weird.
Boy, was it. um, and at this point, most of the games, most of the consoles, you don't get a physical game. You get an online copy of the game. The consoles, in a lot of ways, are just an internet box. Um, but yeah, so as much as I don't like Nintendo, I would be happy to see him win this one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else happening this week. Um, early voting in Virginia has started.
Right.
We never got that interview with that education board
No, we didn't.
person. I think she either got too busy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with she got too busy. Um,
that's fair.
I'm thinking about reaching out to her again anyway, just to see. Halfway expecting a no thank you.
Yeah.
Uh, I I'm putting off talking about this one, but I can't. I'm not putting it off any longer. Um, no one got raptured this week.
I'm going to be honest. I knew what you were talking about, but when I read that in the talking point list, my very first thought was, did the bar close down?
Unfortunately, my thought is, well, at least everybody kept their heads above water.
This too.
True.
It was not. It was not shocking.
Ah.
You look like you're not exactly understanding what I'm getting at there.
Nope.
Don't blame you. Bioshock, the first one, took place in an underwater city named Rapture.
Ah,
Ah. Gotta play Bioshock for that to hit.
yeah.
Yep.
Uh,
I mean, it's not like mine was any less specific knowledge.
right.
Actually,
Rapture.
yours was very specifically more specific.
Yes, less people
Oh,
know about the bar Rapture than know about Bioshock.
Fair.
apparently, that doesn't apply to the people on the stream.
Right. Exactly. Mm. Because I've mentioned the bar Rapture before, I believe,
Hmm.
on stream. And uh we have we've shown pictures of the outside of the bar on
Yes, we
stream.
have.
So, two things that I find absolutely hilarious about the whole rapture incident.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
One, the person who made the declaration, the prediction, the prophecy, whatever the heck you want to call that bullshit that came out of their mouth,
Right.
has no connection with any church.
Of course not. Really? Really, no connection with any church. Actually, that surprises me. I would have figured they'd have had some, been part of some. Alright, what's the next thing?
Well, the fact that the rapture isn't in the Bible.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that it specifically says no man will know the day or the hour.
If the rapture's not in the Bible, then where does it say that no man will know the date or the hour?
Is the day of the hour of the second coming or the end of the times?
Okay.
But that,
But it doesn't say the
there's
rapture is.
well, that's the thing. The second coming has been turned into the rapture.
Right. Because the rapture is supposed to be such a big part of the second coming. How did the idea of the rapture get started, even?
Evangelical people that wanted to raise money. In the very, very baldest, bluntest way.
Fair
if
enough.
you are someone that is preaching and is not preaching from necessarily a good place and want to raise money, your best tactic is fear. If you are afraid that you're going to get left behind, then you'll do things to ensure you're not left behind.
Right.
So,
Also designed as a visual representation of there will be those that are specifically chosen.
Okay. That tracks. I get where that's coming from. I mean, I also quickly saw the parallel of ascending to heaven kind of thing. But the chosen ones.
you know,
It-
that's where the big current idea came from. It's been kind of in a form of something or other for a while, with everybody asking, well, when is he coming back? He came once and he was taken to heaven and he said he's coming back. So when is this going to happen? So there's been this kind of sub question that they've been asking for, ever since that one point in time.
Right.
When is he coming back? And the general thing has been, you're not going to know when he gets here. You're not going to know until he gets here. You don't get a date and a time.
But people have been trying to crack the code anyway, of course.
Yes. Because people are nosy, and people of ill intent will see an opportunity.
Right.
And frequently, the nosy people end up hooked up with the people of ill intent because they think the people of ill intent might actually have an angle that works. But all they're doing is taking the research of the nosy people and twisting it. which ends up with the disillusioned masses going, oh, there was nothing to this. This is a fake person.
Right. I mean, not that it is gonna happen anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Second Coming of Christ is not on my bingo card, period.
That is entirely fair.
You know, it's for I mean the list of things that have to happen for that to happen is is a no-go, is a non-starter, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I really don't am saying I'll be back feels like it feels like more of a threat than a promise. Like, dang you guys for killing me. I'll be back.
Mm-hmm. No, not quite. Given the fact that he rose and did not immediately go into that particular train of things. He had the opportunity.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's less of a promise of things to come, but more of the Christinator.
Yes.
Yeah. I also
The
think
thing-
that is how people are taking it. Is Christinator is coming. Look busy.
Yes.
I
The thing to
don't.
remember is this is just one religion of many.
It is. It is one religion of many, and this is one version of the end of the world out of many.
Right.
I don't believe any of them. That is where, when we get to talking about the end of the world stuff in any religion, I don't believe it. I think that the worst thing that can happen, the thing that is the most world ending awful thing, is that nothing changes. A continuation of the status quo on into infinity until our sun blows up, basically. That's
At this point, it does end, as was pointed out to me the other day.
yeah. I mean, it does end, but
Universe.
it's the worst version of the way this could happen. No growth, no development, just a stagnation in a forward direction.
Yeah.
And that is what I fear more and more as we go on. And that's a lot of what, a lot of the stuff that happened this week feels like to me. We're just sort of stumbling forward in this status quo of of ineptitude. You know? It's very... It bothers me.
Mm.
Yeah, it bothers me. And there are things about it that bother me, that really bother me, that lead to, things that are happening that lead to further decay of any possibility of change. And that's,
I was here.
What?
I didn't say anything. I just thought it at you really loudly.
What didn't you say?
Nothing. That was not meant to be caught by the mic.
Oh, okay.
It was an aside for something that happened in the room.
Aha. So yeah, you know, and we're not even close to done with the crazy crap that happened this week.
I don't know. Honestly, we're almost done with. We've got like one thing really left on your list that you started with, and then we've got a couple more things on the list. Really,
We've got a few more things coming.
we've got a few more things, but in reality, most of that list is us talking back and forth. So,
Well, James Comey was indicted this week. Indicted for something he said 5 years ago about something that happened 4 years before that.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's indicted for basically perjury, I think is what they're calling it. Fraud or something.
Let me find the proper.
Well, if it is an indictment on fraud, that's one of the few cases that I would actually trust this administration because they know all about fraud.
Right? Except
My
they
favorite
don't.
part is the fact that this happened like a week before the statute of limitations would have closed the door on them.
Yeah. Oh, it didn't. This also didn't happen this week, but they fired his daughter. I think she was a federal prosecutor, and they fired her.
Oh yeah, no, they've been firing all the prosecutors.
Yeah, no, she went early on. I mean, not just because her name started with a C, but because she's a Comey specifically.
All right, so he is facing a grand total of 1 count of making false statements and 1 count of obstruction of justice in connection with his testimony to the Senate Judiciary Committee 5 years ago.
And his take on it is, I know I'm innocent. Let's do this.
Pretty much.
I heard him, I heard his, what was it, Twitter post or whatever. And he was I have nothing to worry about. Let's go to court. Something like that.
My heart is broken for the Department of Justice, but I have great confidence in the system, and I'm innocent, so let's have a trial.
Right.
When the person that you've got on only 2 counts
of some weak stuff, too. It's not like these are strong indictments. Like,
you got 2 indictments on weak sauce, and they're sitting there going, my heart breaks for you, let's have a trial.
That is lawyer speak for brah. You don't want to do this. You really want to ask me to step outside? I'm gonna give you a chance to rethink that. No, you're gonna okay. Uh, yeah, that was. Oh man, I really wish I'd grabbed the audio clip of that, of his speech, because I want to use it in another techno song to play alongside that one song of Comey talking about meeting with Trump. Um, yeah.
Ah, yes. Let's see.
Okay, so let's go to the chat here.
There's my check marks. So I can check
Oh,
things
what's
off
this
as we.
ice thing? Oh,
Yeah.
Pokemon Nintendo mum on suing DHS over Wild Ice ad. Oh, is that the thing? Was that the thing?
Yeah, because they specifically used not only the entire song as it was, but they used the song from Pokemon in an ice ad, and apparently they used the description of or they used the depiction of Ash Ketchum in an ice ad.
Oh wow, gotta catch 'em
That's
all.
this is why they're getting sued.
Okay, all right.
Let's
So,
see.
Albemarle County Police Department has received reports of a black pig in the area of Owensville Road and Old Ballard Road. ACPD's Animal Protection Unit is working to locate and confine the animal, but it remains at large. If you have info regarding the current location or owner of this pig, please don't narc. Stop snitching. No, but seriously, why they gotta bring race into it? Why couldn't they have just said there's a cop on the loose?
The only thing I think of is they wanted to make sure that they had the right cop for whatever reason.
There are a whole bunch more really bad jokes. A couple of probably actually good jokes, none of which we can make.
No, no. We can
I
leave it here and
feel
people at
like
home make their own jokes.
Yeah, I feel like we may be snuck in the only two that we're allowed to get to, but nice distraction, release the Epstein files. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Only thing better would have been if the picture also showed a couple of chickens chasing the pig, so that you could have said that there are some fried eggs in pursuit of the bacon.
Stone chickens. Fried eggs. uh we're getting there, Maddie. We're getting there.
Yeah.
So now also onto the oh god. On to the next one. Charlottesville, Virginia. Mass casualty field rush with injuries at Scott Stadium at UVA. Reports are indicating that a mass field rush occurred following tonight's football game. Multiple individuals were injured during the rush, and several fights reportedly broke out in the aftermath. Pepper spray was reportedly deployed during the incident. At this time, reports indicate that there are at least 15 patients. Due to the number of patients, a mass casualty incident has been declared. Additionally, ambulances are having difficulty accessing patients because of heavy traffic in the area. And this was because of the UVA FSU game?
Florida State was up here playing UVA. They went into overtime. UVA won.
Oh, Florida man.
Now, the field rush was so large and complete that they packed the actual football field.
Oh my god.
So
That
part of the
is
injury,
insane.
part of the injuries very well probably came from people rushing out of the stands and onto the field.
Yeah.
But also there were reports of a fight.
This
Between who?
happened
Last night?
last night?
Last night.
Last night at Scott Stadium in at UVA in Charlottesville.
Yep.
Now, I mean, Scott Stadium is not, huge by any stretch of the imagination, but it ain't small. Oh wow, man, Florida must have. We thought it was a BYOM game. BYOM? Bring your own meth. Wow. Oh, Trump's calling for full force use in Portland now? Oh, that's crazy.
Oh boy.
Oh, man. So, another thing that happened this week. The guy who had set up to try to kill Trump, to assassinate Trump on his golf course at Mar-a-Lago, received his verdict this week, which was guilty, dude.
Which
His,
I'm going to note this was fast.
I mean, his big defense was my rifle shouldn't have worked at that range. My equipment was faulty. And in the end, I didn't have the guts to pull the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Which the judge was like, that's not a defense. Though those don't count as defenses, dude.
All right.
I really, if those were his, like, I'm still really curious as to what his defense was gonna be, was really supposed to be.
Okay.
What?
He put something in.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what he means, but so yeah,
Da, 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 da.
Queen.
No, who ripped off that intro?
Oh, Vanilla Ice.
Ice Ice Baby.
Okay. All
Oh, cute.
right.
All right, so
So
let
yeah,
me move that over to the other one so that people can see what we're talking about.
Sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
it's okay.
I just it occurred to me, and I can't believe it took this long for that to occur to me. I made a really shit-tastic meme about it.
That works.
Ice,
That works.
ice, baby.
Yeah,
Ah. Right.
that is fair. So
Um,
yeah, not
that's the flight. That's the fight.
not not only has this guy been convicted, it has taken less than a year for this to go through the system.
Yes, it's taken less than a
That
year for this to go through the system. Um, I'm not. I mean, I'm kind of not surprised because it was an attempted assassination on the president of the United States.
no, because he wasn't president at that point.
True.
He was a candidate
And a former president.
and a former president, but he was not
True.
a sitting president. And I mean, how long did it take other assassination things to go through the courts?
I have no idea.
Um. Anyway,
I mean, I
this was
know Mangione is. I know Mangione
still
and
in court.
yeah, he's still in court, but he got to
Which
court pretty
side?
quick.
Side note: his thing may have just gotten an extra get out of jail free card because of the quack in chief. Um, the hateful rhetoric that he has been putting out about Mangione, and the fact that other government officials have been adding to it and backing it up has led to the um, attorneys for Luigi uh, demanding that they throw out things like the death penalty on grounds of polluting the jury pool because this is going out over national airwaves and
Mm-hmm.
making it so you cannot, avoid hearing it.
Right.
Tampering the jury pool, polluting the jury pool, and making it so that you can't have a fair verdict.
Right.
So there whatever he may or may not have done, things are getting because you have public officials saying publicly on social media things like that, it's leading to things in his case getting either dropped or downgraded or tossed.
Yeah.
Um, as far as this guy that did stuff, he acted September 15th of 2024.
2024.
Today is the 27th of September 2025, and we're getting this verdict.
Okay. Well, also though, he had a day. He had a day of presenting his defense.
Normally, that's all they get. Defense side is really short usually. They don't usually have, if you are scheduled for a 2-week or a 3-week long trial, 75% of that is going to be on the prosecution side, bringing their evidence and proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that they are correct.
Yeah. Fair. There's still,
But
I mean, it's still, okay. It still went really quick. As
Yeah.
a trial, the trial progressed very quickly because the guy had no defense. I mean, maybe there are other reasons it progressed quickly too, but once the trial started, the fact that he didn't have a lawyer and didn't have a good defense, like a defense.
That is fair. But the fact that they took less than a year to get from incident to in the courtroom.
Again, I think that has to do with the profile level of the case.
That could be, but that's still not okay, kind of, you know?
Well,
No, I get it. I get it.
I have to agree with Trevor because I was just digging through the attempted assassination of Reagan
Yeah.
in '81,
Mm-hmm.
and that went to trial, and the trial was completed by June of '82. The attack happened in March of '81, so it's slightly faster, but not significantly faster.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. But that means that to get that done, they kicked other people that had trials in the way out of the way to do this.
Yes. Which is unfair, but the fact that trials take so long is also unfair. We are guaranteed one of the guarantees is a speedy trial.
Yeah.
And that guarantee is all but forgotten.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's messed up that they make an already slow legal system even slower so that, this one high profile case can rush through. And I don't believe that justice should work like that.
No. No, because on the one hand, you've got people that have been waiting being pushed aside, and they're not getting their speedy trial.
Yep.
On the other hand, depending on what it is, they're getting rushed through, and they might be getting a speedy trial, but they may not be getting a fair trial because people are rushing to prove something without actually. Well, basically, they're reading all the terms and conditions on the thing and clicking accept without actually reading any of it.
Right. Now, again, there's just one more crazy thing that happened this week. Oh, and at the end of the trial, guy tries to lights out with a pen.
Yep. In front of his family.
In front of his family, which is beyond messed up. But also, how do you not succeed?
Because, in fact, the pen is not mightier than the sword.
No.
Plus,
At least when you're
enough
talking about beheading. What?
Plus, they were close enough to a hospital where they could stop the bleeding.
Okay. They made it sound like, on the radio, they made it sound like he didn't even get the pen into him.
Apparently he did do some damage, but he returned to court shortly afterwards, cleaned up and not showing that he'd done much. But
man, this dude is not. This guy if nothing else, belongs in custody because he is just, his mind is a danger to himself and others. He just can't be trusted with life. I don't know what's going on in dude's head, but
Things, lots of things.
it ain't safe.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Let's see.
something else the administration is doing is trying to extort the sale of TikTok.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, what the U.S. company, it may be that both companies are being forced to pay this jointly, but there's for the sale to go through, for TikTok to get sold, you know, uh, it is it they are requiring a very large upfront payment to the U.S. Treasury.
Which
We're talking about, I think the sale is valued at 14 billion
and this was
before
a
the
sale
fee.
that was required by the government.
Right. Right.
You can't have this anymore. You need to sell it.
Right. And now you guys need to pay us money for this sale. And I don't think it's just ByteDance. I think it might be the American company as well.
Probably. Why on
But
earth would they get a cut from just one person?
right. Well,
Why would Trump allow the opportunity to fight?
right. Exactly. Because I can come up with good reasons why you'd only extort half of this situation. But all of those reasons make some form of tactical sense.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me think those are not the like that. Nope. But this is just a growing, this is a growing thing of Trump, of the administration extorting business for the gain of the government, which Trump sees as his personal pocketbook.
Mm-hmm.
And thing is, all of this crazy stuff going on feels like it really is all just an attempt to distract from the awful advance in Gaza, on Gaza City. Because we just haven't, we barely heard about that. I mean,
Yeah.
I've heard a decent amount of it on NPR here and there, but with what's been going on in this country, it's really hard to. And
Focus on
that
something?
feels like it might be being used to distract from Epstein. Told you we would get to the Epstein files. I mean, it really is a whole bunch of like distraction. Look over here, look over there.
It reminds me of the mysterious clown sightings that plagued the country at one point in time.
Really? What's this now? Clown sightings now. You know why that won't happen now? Clown would get
Why?
shot.
They were about to get that then too.
Yeah,
Honestly,
now
oh,
we're
now
a lot more paranoid.
I was gonna say we're also more desperate.
Is
So
this
people
clown working for ICE?
might view them as like Pennywise and be like, "Yes, just take me away now."
See, that's if the clown's lucky. People will think it's a demon. People are more likely to think that it's a disguised law enforcement officer.
This is true. Unfortunately, this is true. Bright side. Speaking of law enforcement officers, we have California has passed their bill making it so that law enforcement officers of all varieties have to be easily identifiable and not be wearing masks when they are doing their jobs.
Okay, easily identifiable. It was the
And
cop
not
who looked like a clown.
Hey,
I can identify him. His shoes go wee 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 every time he walks.
look, if someone sees someone painted up as a clown, they're not going to make it. It's not going to make anything difference to them because that level of face paint has been normalized. Just look at the person sitting in the Oval Office.
true,
Oh yeah.
true, and his buddy that put the entire makeup studio in.
Oh god. Entire makeup studio and he still looks that bad. What a waste of
I
money.
know,
How?
I know.
So, how much money did it cost to put it in the makeup studio when they're trying to cut people's expenditures?
Yep,
Right. Right.
right.
I can see a clear
Nowhere near
example
as
of waste, fraud, and abuse,
much-
sir. Right there.
I am stepping away for a minute to put some tea in the microwave. You guys keep chatting.
Well, we're just about done.
That's okay. I'll be right back.
Let's see. Other wastes. Building the ballroom.
Um,
Gilding off the stuff in the frickin' White House.
Oh god, that's so tacky. Paving over the rose garden.
Yep.
Ugh.
Paving over the rose garden lawn. The roses were not touched.
Surprised you didn't paint them though. Painting the roses gold. We're painting the roses gold.
Well, I don't think we have anybody to play croquet with flamingos, though.
He did just visit the royal family.
Yeah. From what little I saw of that, they were mostly mocking him through part of it.
I mean, really, I would have had a hard time not mocking him through the entire thing, too. I mean, oh, man. Oh, and then his meeting with Keira Starmer. Although I don't really remember how that went. I vaguely remember Keira Starmer just sort of being obsequious. Although that was, I think, again, that was last week. That wasn't this last week. And this whole last week just got crazier and crazier. Enough that I don't really remember. It's... Yeah. It has been a crazy week. Man. she broke the momentum going to get tea because I had one more thing to talk about, and it's a quick throwaway thing.
Go for it.
The Etsy witches do it again. They an Etsy witch fixed the Mariners, brought them from a terrible record, I think no wins, to a 10-win streak. $20 gets you one hell of a winning streak on Etsy. Let me tell you what. I really do think that maybe we should all start investing in some Etsy witches here and there. You know, if you think you need something to happen, invest you in an Etsy witch spell. This is one fan was just not having it for the, hurting for the Mariners. Paid the $20 for the spell, put it on social media, and then the Mariners catcher, got their 60th home run. And that is an amazing stat in baseball, for one. I think 60 career home runs is one of those, like, only a select few have gotten it. Apparently, that specific Etsy witch is no longer doing baseball magic. Apparently, baseball magic takes one hell of a toll on you.
Aw.
So, the only thing this week that I don't think was part of the distraction from everything else. Well, all right, friends. Thank you for being here. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, Maddie. Was there anybody else in chat? No?
In
just
chat?
us.
No.
Thank you, Maddie.
We have people working, but...
Yeah. No, Wait is tomorrow morning. Wait, don't tell me tomorrow starting at 10:30 a.m. Today is Saturday evenings posted mostly. Oh, no worries. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning. And I feel like maybe if we have some slightly less crazy weeks, we can use this format for occasionally going forward for jokes. I do think that we should soon talk about who's on the ballot here in Virginia. And how people can find out who's on their ballot in their states, and get background information.
I think, honestly, knowing how most people do, if we wait until, like, the week of Halloween, or the week before Halloween, that gives them a couple of weeks until Election Day.
That's fair. We could do that.
Just going with what I have observed in the past with most humans, which is, if you tell them 2 or 3 months out, day of, they forget everything. If you do it and tell them they only have 2 weeks to learn this, it sticks a lot better.
That's fair. So yeah, we'll be touching on that soon. Um, yeah.
What we really need to work on is crafting and then convincing various people to get together and actually go for the buy and build yourself gingerbread house contest.
Oh, that would be fun. Um,
Not for October. Do this as a holiday winter event.
yeah, that's gonna be
That gives a couple of months to actually plan and coordinate so that it can happen. And market so it can happen.
okay. You know, you know what I'm about to say?
Nope. I am now not listening.
Too bad that does not absolve you of having been in the presence when I say, "All right, I'm handing responsibility over to you for this. This is your baby to organize."
No, no, no.
Yes, yes, yes.
This is my baby to plot, and I can still reach you. You are not at a different location today.
Not the pool noodle, no, not in public.
No, I'm not in public. Oops, sorry. It went right in between the headrest and the chair. That was not the intention.
So yeah.
My job is to put the proposal together, outlining things, and your job is to present it to the people at the Hidden Leaf.
I I'm capable of that. It's still your responsibility to organize. It is a it's the cystic fibrosis acting up. It's actually a pretty
Mhm.
normal cough for me. Uh, yeah. Well, thank you. Uh, I I'm living with cystic fibrosis, not dying from it. Um, I my pulmonologist has told me that I have the lungs of a younger man. I asked my pulmonologist why they've been looking in my basement freezer.
I
Uh,
wondered what location they were looking in.
right? No, oh,
Sounds about right.
no need to worry about that. It's yeah, exactly. I have the CF is something that well, it's one of the few things that took me a little while to come to terms with. But after I came to terms with it, uh, it's become a source of comedy. Um, lotion, oil, drip. Puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. What I. Oh, God. So, that guy, the guy who played Buffalo Bill,
Mhm.
also played Stottlemyre in Monk.
Yes, I know.
There are times in Monk where I just can hear him. Monk. Monk put the lotion on its skin.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh man.
Omar,
Hmm? Pardon?
The
What?
police chief that he's working with.
okay.
Yeah, Stottlemyre. Oh, also played the police liaison in the first Fast and the Furious.
True. I think I vaguely remember him from that.
Mr. Krabs is also the Kurgan. Oh, wow.
You didn't know that one?
No. Just remember, it's always better to burn out than fade away. Oh crap. What was Krabs' laugh?
Yeah.
It's a penguin-like laugh. Except for it's... No, it's not. Damn it. I can do Squidward. It is, okay. It is the Popeye laugh, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah. I remember the Shawshank one.
Oh, yeah. Chief Garden Shawshank, yep. Um, he's also, he's also the guy, the I don't remember what rank officer from the first season of the Netflix Punisher.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's he's become a ubiquitous character actor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Detroit Become Human. He's the cop in Detroit Become Human.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Um,
Ever seen the HBO series Carnival?
I have seen some of it. Wait, was he the pastor?
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, Hank. Hank in Detroit Become Human.
Or you say Hank, all I can think of is Hank Hill.
That's okay. Usually I think of Hank Venture. Well, all right. Thank you everyone for being here. We will see y'all tomorrow. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, have I seen any of the new King of the Hill episodes? No, I haven't. Regrettably so. It looks like it's pretty good. It looks like it's actually pretty good. Um, you know, I was not a I didn't watch King of the Hill when I was younger, when it was on before. Uh, I felt like I felt a distinct lack of connection to any of the characters. Just there's no, I had no experience like that. Um, so I missed out on how good a show it actually was.
Mm-hmm.
And
At the time they were airing, I definitely preferred Daria to King of the Hill.
yeah, I felt a connection to Daria. I felt like that was speaking to who I was. Um,
Both spin-offs of Beavis and Butthead.
yeah, that's what I've heard.
Oh, Hank
Yeah,
Hill was their next door neighbor.
no, not that. I mean that Daria came off as kind of a
Oh yeah, nowadays most definitely.
yeah. No, yeah, I remember Hank Hill. I mean, I remember the first like on Liquid Television, the first original Beavis and Butthead shorts. I hated Beavis and Butthead. I could not stand them. I felt like they were such an awful commentary on my peer group. You know, that and I took it personal. Like I was like, you know, not all teenage metalheads are like this. Like some of us out here are discussing philosophy, thank you very much. Some of us out here are reading. I mean, I was reading TSR novels, but I was reading. I was also reading the classics. I was reading a whole lot of classic literature and thinking deeply about it. And so I felt like I really felt misrepresented by Beavis and Butthead. Uh, and I could see it encouraging stupid behavior in my peers. I just was not just did not like it. I liked Daria because it wasn't that. It was the complete, opposite of that. It was the response to that. And at the time, I was also very jaded and felt that way. Uh,
Uh,
yeah, see, yeah, that occurred to me later. Like, at one point, I looked around and I went, oh, that's why these friends like it. I
uh-huh.
get it now. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Not stupid, but immature. And it was and they were immature in ways that I just wasn't.
Thing
You
about
know,
Daria coming across as a bitch.
yeah.
Well, at the time, if you were, for lack of better terms, a social outcast, there were very few sincere attempts to reach you or to understand you.
Yes.
So you just became jaded and snapped back at everything,
Yeah.
and which was what she did in that show. But nowadays, um, there are far more sincere attempts, so therefore the jaded reaction just is effectively self harm.
It looks that way now. Yeah. Uh funny thing is, Daria was one of those first attempts at reaching out. One of those first sincere attempts at reaching out to people who were feeling that way. She wasn't really a social outcast. She mostly just put herself in that position by crapping on everyone and whatever they liked. Yeah, there is that part of it, and that was a large part of the subculture of subcultures was hating stuff. Now, I feel like from specifically from watching T1J videos about Daria, I feel like the show itself did a good job of offering alternatives to that. It's just that she was the focus of the show.
Mm.
Very Gen X militant apathy. Yes. South Park is in that vibe in a lot of ways too, yeah. South Park is another one that I did not like. I did not like when it started. I thought it was just... I thought a lot of the humor of that first season, first couple of seasons maybe even, was just adolescent, puerile. I've seen them get more intelligent over the years, and a lot more subtle. And there's still adolescent puerile humor in there, but that's not all it is. But the amount of butt jokes, the amount of stuff in your butt jokes, just didn't... It's like, I don't get why that's funny.
Wait, wait, don't tell me.
Huh?
It's almost like an episode of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Yeah. Well, no. Because South Park was dick and fart jokes. Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me is penis and flatulence jokes.
Hmm.
Also...
Snobbish and maturity.
Yes.
Huh?
Eyebrow immaturity.
Highbrow maturity. Yeah, no. Yeah, also, I think as I've gotten older, I've gotten more immature.
Okay.
In a lot of ways, I've sort of allowed myself to find immature stuff funny. Now, there's some stuff that where Ivy League dick and fart jokes. Yes, exactly. Oh, you got video of it.
I have video of it. It took me a bit to find it, but I found some. That was not Facebook or other blocked media.
Y'all want to see the video of the Virginia fans rushing the field after
Sure.
beating Florida State? All right.
For those most in need.
You need to share the screen.
No. Actually,
Okay.
I might. We'll see.
Lens cap.
Yeah.
No, we're recording.
Other lens cap.
All right. There we go.
Do you play coverage or do you come after the quarterback? Looks like they're going to play coverage. False start.
There we go.
play some zone, keep some eyes on the quarterback. This is high drama. I mean, this is theater right
That's
here.
fine.
4th down and 12 to keep the game alive in overtime number 2. Here comes the blitz. Castellanos in trouble. Heaves one towards the end zone. Intercepted. It's over. Virginia has done it.
Wow. Dang, you'd think they beat Duke with a reaction like that. Oh, no, wait, that's basketball.
It doesn't matter. You still would have thought it was something. It would have been a late in the season, like the playoff game, the last game, whatever. No. Part of what it is the fact that we haven't beat FSU since like 1991, whatever.
Yeah.
We as in Virginia, because I happen to live in the state.
Listen for you. We have no idea where you are.
Congratulations, folks. Signature win under your era here. What made this possible?
To God be the glory. Hey, this man here, the staff, the players, they believe, the fans showed up, but the glory goes to God.
He did it while he was injured. We have an injured offensive line. How did your offense get it done today?
They just found a way. Said it was going to be a 4-quarter game, 1 possession. Hey, just believe. I don't know who's going to make a play, but he found a way. He's got a heart of a champion.
Wow. Oop.
And that's even knowing Scott Stadium really isn't that big. But apparently, for not being that big, they had people packed into the edges of the field to fit everybody in.
Wow. That poor reporter. They're
Apparently,
like, okay, we don't know where you are, but are you alive? Duke football. Yeah, I know. Duke has a football team? And then there were those those 2 seasons that they were like amazing. That one season they won, and then that other season where they were like still really good. You know the funniest thing? When I went to jail, when I was in jail last time, I happened to mention in passing that I liked Duke football. That I watched Duke football. And every single game that was on TV was on while I was in there. They put it on. I did not miss a single Duke game while I was in jail. I don't know who heard me, and I don't know why they did it, but somebody made sure I saw every Duke game.
They just wanted to duke it out with you.
Maybe. There might have been another Duke fan in there that was like, yeah, my guy. I mean,
Apparently it wasn't that hazardous.
Nope. Oh, and you know what it was one of their it was like, it wasn't that either of those seasons where they did really well, but it was one of the seasons where they were doing pretty good, where it was like, oh my God, Duke has a team this year? Huh. So I got to watch Duke win several games. I maintain that that was the best vacation ever. How much you gotta hate your job to want to go to jail on vacation? No soybean oil mayo. Yeah, no mayo. There was no mayo. It was I was I mean, although man, the food at Central Virginia Regional Hotel, I mean jail, was really good. Like disturbingly good. Like better than the food at the high school down the road. I saw the cook once in passing and said something like that. Said something about that to him, and he goes, "Yeah, I remember that high. I remember going to OCHS.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I learned to cook." I was like, "Oh, I get it. You had high
Uh-huh.
school food. You were like, oh, hell no, never again."
Exactly.
Well, all right.
Well,
I think we've reached the end of the show.
I think so.
Thank you again, Maddie Holmes, for being here. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Peanut Gallery. Uh, Everyone, stick around for the raid. I believe we're going to be raiding out to. I don't know who we're going to be raiding out to. But we will be raiding out to somebody. So now is the time on the show when I say, as they say around here, 2 up, 2 down, VA double deuces. We're out, y'all.
Them any disrespect. And so I went. I go to the far end of the blue room, and the president comes in, Klieg lights surrounding him, and his eyes begin sweeping the room, and they sweep right past me and settle on the Secret Service director who's standing next to me. And my reaction is, how did he not see me? And then I look to right to my left shoulder. There's a blue curtain that doesn't perfectly match my suit, but it's pretty close. And so I move closer to the curtain and press myself back. I know that sounds crazy, but I was really keen not to be in a picture with the president or have him attempt a hug. And I thought it was genius until it wasn't. His eyes swept the room again and settled on me and my curtain and announced, Jim, he's more famous than me, and then called me across the room. And as I explained in the book, the walk across the room probably took me 5 strides. It seemed like a half hour. And my wife has described to friends seeing that, and she's known me since I was 19. She said, "That's Jim's face." And I'm walking forward, and I'm just thinking, there's no way I'm hugging this guy. That is not going to happen. And so I reach out my hand to keep it in front of me to make it a handshake. And he grabs my hand and he pulls in and down. He's going for the hug. And so I thought, I'm going to resist this. Unless he's a lot stronger than he appears, he's not going to be able to get me to hug him. And so I tightened my whole core and I stiffened up, and he didn't get the hug. He couldn't pull me in close enough. But I actually got something worse. He pulled me down as far as he could, and then he put his lips by my right ear, which obscured them from the camera. And what he said was, "I really look forward to working with you." But of course, the whole world, including my wife and children, saw Donald Trump kiss me. There was no kiss, but that's what it looked like. Far worse than a hug. And then I pull back, and he invites me to stay with them up on this, at the front of the room, and I waved it off, trying to signal, I'm not worthy. In my head, I'm thinking I'm not suicidal. And so I backpedal, and I go back to my curtain. And then when this thing is over, I pretend I'm getting on the end of the line after the press leaves to get a picture with the president, and I slip out to the green room. And on my way out, I hear the score to the football game I was taping, so it was a complete disaster.
So, I'm going to be honest here about what this reminds me of. As a woman, this reminds me of when somebody who is powerful inappropriately gives you a hug, and you don't know what to do. It seems inappropriate to say something about it at that moment. You don't want to read more into it than is there, but you don't know what to do, and it's incredibly